We know that when a shape is divided up into equal parts, each part is labeled using a unit fraction. For example, if I were to divide this shape up into equal parts, it's in 4 pieces. So this unit fraction would be 1/4. This would be 1 piece out of 4, 1/4, and 1/4, because it's 1 piece out of a total of 4. Remember, the denominator tells you your total number, the whole piece, and your numerator tells you what part of the whole. Today, we're going to take what we know about area, and we're going to see if the region has been divided up into equal parts. Because remember, if it's not equal, then it's not a fraction. So you're going to use area to see whether or not the fraction was divided up into equal parts. Let's look at an example. Ben has a piece of paper, and he divides it up into 4 equal parts. Let's say he folds his paper this way. So he folds it in half, and then he folds it in half again. How can he label each part? Well, if each part has the same area, then each part is equal. And if I look at this little square, one side is 4, and the other side is 4. So 4 times 4 is 16. The area would be 16 square units. This side is 4 and this side is 4. So it's 16 square units. This next piece, one side is 4, the other side is 4, so it's 16 square units. And once again, 4 and 4, the area is 16. That means each area is equal. So it can be divided up into a fraction because each area is equal. When you divide up a fraction, it needs to be equal parts. Since the whole is 4 equal pieces, we know the denominator will be 4. And since this square is just 1 piece out of the 4, the numerator will be 1 because it's part of the whole. Each of these pieces can be labeled 1/4. Let's say he decides to fold it a different way. Let's say he folds the paper in half, but then he folds it this way. Did he divide it up into equal parts? Well, let's do the math and let's see. This side, the length would be 2 and the width would be 8. So 2 times 8, the area would be 16 square units. Let's look at the next one. The length is 2, the width is 8, so it's 16. Here the length is 2, the width is 8, it's 16 square units. And our last piece, the length is 2, the width is 8, so the area is 16 square units. That means all the pieces are equal, which means that they can be divided up into fractions. There are 4 equal pieces, which means that the denominator would be 4. And if we're talking about just 1 piece out of 4, the unit fraction would be 1/4, because this is 1 piece out of 4 equal pieces to make a whole. If I wanted to use equal areas to model unit fractions, and I wanted to have it in 2 equal parts, well, there's 2 ways I could divide up this square. I could divide it in half right here, or I could divide it in half right here. Let's say I divide it in half right here, and I want to see if they're equal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to test the area to see if the areas are equal. They take up the same amount of space. So this side is 6 units, and the width is 3 units. So length times width would be 6 times 3, and so the area of this rectangle would be 18 square units. Let's try it with the other side. The length is 6, the width is 3, so 6 times 3 is also 18. These are equal pieces. which means if I needed to come up with a denominator, I would see how many equal pieces make part of the whole, and it would be 2. And a unit fraction, this would be 1 piece out of 2, so it would be half. Let's say I wanted to divide this up into 6 equal pieces. I could cut it into thirds and then draw a line down the middle. Here I have 6 pieces, but I need to see if they're equal. 2 times 3 is 6. The length is 2, the width is 3, so it's 6. 2 and 3 is 6. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 3 is 6, and 6. So they all have equal area. Now I just need to create a unit fraction. There are 6 equal pieces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which means the denominator would be 6 pieces make a whole. And if I just wanted to focus on 1 piece out of 6, the fraction would be 1/6. It's very useful to use area to figure out if fraction pieces are equal. So next time you're trying to create a unit fraction, check the area first.